Do you ever feel like you genuinely want a deep, real connection with someone, but the moment things start getting serious, something in you just closes? Like there's a part of you that's reaching for closeness and another part that's quietly backing away from it at the same time, and you can't fully explain why. Most people think emotional unavailability is a guy thing. The cold, closed-off man who won't talk about his feelings, who keeps everyone at a distance, who shuts down the moment a conversation gets too real. And yes, that exists, but here's what the research actually shows. Women can be just as emotionally unavailable as men. They just tend to express it in completely different ways. And the thing that makes this complicated for everyone is that most emotionally unavailable people have absolutely no idea that they are. They want love, they think they're open to it, but there's something underneath that keeps pushing it away. So where does this come from? Emotional unavailability is most often rooted in what psychologists call insecure attachment, specifically the avoidance subtype. Attachment theory tells us that the way we bonded with our primary caregivers in early childhood creates a kind of emotional template that we carry into our adult relationships. When a child grows up in an environment where emotional expression wasn't safe, where vulnerability was met with dismissal, criticism, or absence, the brain learns to adapt. It learns, don't need too much, don't feel too much, keep yourself protected. And that adaptation, which once made total sense, follows the person into every relationship they have as an adult. Not because they're broken, but because the brain is doing exactly what it was trained to do. Let's talk about what this actually looks like, because the signs are different depending on who's carrying it. The first sign is discomfort with vulnerability. And this one shows up differently for men and women in ways that are worth paying attention to. For him, he'll talk about almost anything, what he's working on, what he thinks about something, what his plans are. He can hold a long conversation, but the moment someone asks how he feels about something that genuinely matters to him, something personal, something tender, there's this subtle shift. He gets vague. He deflects. He suddenly finds something else to focus on. It's not that he's lying, it's that the question itself creates a kind of internal alarm he doesn't fully understand. For her, it looks different on the surface. She's often an incredible listener. She's empathetic, emotionally intelligent, great at holding space for other people's feelings. But when it comes to her own, she pivots, she makes a joke, she says, "I'm fine," with complete conviction when she is absolutely not fine. She's learned to be fluent in other people's emotions while keeping her own at arm's length. And because she presents as warm and emotionally engaged, nobody, including her, tends to identify it as unavailability. The second sign is keeping relationships at a comfortable distance. For him, this might look like dating, but always having a quiet exit strategy in the back of his mind. He's physically present, he shows up, he does the relationship things, but emotionally he's holding something back. There's always a part of him that's not fully in. For her, it can look even more subtle. She might consistently choose partners who are themselves emotionally unavailable. Not consciously, but because that dynamic feels familiar. It gives her the experience of being in a relationship without the full exposure that real intimacy requires. She gets to care without being fully seen. The third sign is conflict avoidance, disguised as being easygoing. This is a big one because it looks like a positive quality on the surface. For him, he goes along with things, doesn't make a fuss, says it's fine when it isn't, until one day something tips him over and he shuts down completely or disappears from the situation entirely. He's not actually easygoing, he's been swallowing things and calling it peace. For her, she suppresses her feelings to avoid rocking the boat because somewhere she learned that expressing needs creates problems. So she keeps things smooth, she accommodates. And then the resentment builds slowly underneath, and it comes out eventually, in sarcasm, in coldness, in a kind of emotional flatness that her partner can feel but can't quite name. The fourth sign is that intimacy starts to feel suffocating. The closer someone gets, the more they love, the more they invest, the more the emotionally unavailable person feels the urge to create distance. For him, it might look like suddenly finding reasons to be busy, to criticize, to focus on incompatibilities that didn't seem important before. It's not that he doesn't like her, it's that closeness has started to trigger something that feels almost like a threat. His nervous system is reading safety as danger. For her, this can come out as self-sabotage. Things are going well, genuinely well, and she starts to find reasons it won't work. He's too nice, she's not feeling it anymore, or may think that something's off. She's not irrational. She's scared of what happens if she lets this be real, and then it falls apart. So she ends it before it can end her. The fifth sign, and this is the one that tends to go unnoticed the longest, is difficulty being fully present in emotional conversations. When a partner is hurting or needs support or wants to go somewhere deep, the emotionally unavailable person checks out in subtle ways. They give advice instead of empathy. They try to fix instead of sit with. They become uncomfortable with the weight of someone else's emotional need. Not because they don't care, but because closeness of that kind activates their own unprocessed stuff. And they don't always know that's what's happening. Here's what I want to leave you with. If any of this sounds familiar, either in yourself or someone you've loved, the most important thing to understand is that emotional unavailability is not a character flaw. It is not evidence that someone is incapable of love. It is a learned protection. It developed for a reason. And because it was learned, it can be unlearned, with awareness, with patience, and often with the right support. Recognizing it in yourself is not something to be ashamed of. It's genuinely the first step towards something better. Tell us in the comments, did you see yourself in any of these signs? Or maybe you saw someone you've loved. We read every comment and we'd love to hear from you. And if this helped, giving us a like means a lot to us.